Okay. Inward is essentially the reverse of reverse. Oh. My name is Yona Night Wisdom, and this is a guide to Olympic diving. Inward is essentially the reverse of reverse. Like on backwards, we start with our backs to the water from a standing position, but as we take off we have to throw our arms towards the board and spin forwards. On platform, unlike backwards, there is no arm swing. The rotational movement is only created from the throw. Due to this, it's very important to have good technique. You need to be reasonably close to the board, but also a safe distance away to be able to complete the somersaults you need to do. As you can imagine, there's been a few times where a diver's got it slightly wrong and come a bit too close to the board. However, unlike Greg's last week, I'm not going to show you those because they're not as iconic and a little bit more gruesome.
Forehead bash. Not good.
I've seen too many in my career. I've seen far too many, it's terrible. This man here has what I think is one of the best techniques in the world on inward.
Thanks, bro.
Commonwealth, European, Olympic champion in the 3 metre synchro alongside Jack Law, Mr. Chris Mears. My inward technique used to be appalling. I actually looked at yours massively whilst I went through the process of improving it. I'm now got it to like an acceptable level that I can actually make an inward 3.5. Finally. But I kind of looked at yours in equal amounts of jealousy and admiration because I wanted mine to be just like that. You made it so easy. How did inward become such a key dive for you?
Inward was always my strongest group by far. It was always the one that when I stood on the board from like day one I felt the most confident on. I don't really remember when it came into my list. It was probably like 2010 maybe or 2009. I started competing it really well. I've hit it a lot more than I missed it. I just have a real understanding of the dive and like a real inner confidence when I stand on the board.
Yeah, I can imagine like when you get to the end of the board, it's just one of those dives like you kind of know that you're gonna hit.
Yeah, if I ever, you know, open on double out, it's like, oh, it's okay, I'll redeem it like on inward.
Yeah.
I always have that mentality, but I don't really have that on my other dives. It's just on inward, I can like, oh yeah, I can hit this, like I can do that.
Back when you did individuals, you had it, at what point in your list you have it? It was towards the end, right?
Nah, I was doing it wrong. I was doing my individual stuff wrong. I had inward at the start, right? Yeah. So if I nailed inward, which I knew, you know, like we've just been talking about, I knew I was capable of doing. If I did that on the first dive, I was like, yeah, this is it. It's gonna be a good meet. And then I'd probably go through and score like around like 450, and maybe like a little bit more, a little bit less. But like if I opened up and I did inward and I flopped it for like, which I did a lot of times, towards the back end of my career, I would have a bad competition. My whole competition relied on inward, and that led me getting very frustrated with my individual career and then just pretty much stopping.
Can you remember when and where your best or favourite inward 3.5 was?
I think the first time I really hit it was 2010. Was it Guangzhou or Changzhou? Something like that. One of the Chang, like in China. Because we obviously compete a lot in China, World Series and World Cup. It was World Cup. It was the prelim. And most of you guys probably know they score a lot lower in prelims than they do like the semis, and then the finals is obviously where the judges will give out marks if you actually nail a dive. I got 8.5 straight to carry. I can't remember exactly what that meant that I scored. I don't know, it was like 87 or something like that. Yeah, it was like really big for me at the time. I was quite young, it was kind of a new dive for me. And I remember just feeling like that's where my confidence grew from, was the fact that it was like the second or third time I competed it. And I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. Like, I know how to do this. And I did another one in Mexico, a World Series, I think individually, that did the same. I got 1.9 to carry as well, and that was pretty dope.
Finally, what would you say is your top tip for someone hoping to improve their inward technique on the springboard?
I guess it's quite hard to pinpoint one thing.
I definitely find that with inward. I find it difficult to pick on one thing that I can work on to try and get it moving right.
For me, the kind of the one thing that I think on the board, well, it isn't at the minute because I started going close, but before that, long throw. Because I feel like if you got your arms straight, or as straight as they can be, and you think about long throw, if you get your jump right with the long throw, then you will spin very fast. I want to be spinning on it so that I make it in good time, so so that I've got good time to look where I am to come out and then nail it.
Yeah.
If you get a long throw and then you're leaning over the board, that's not good. Like,
yeah, you gotta have the right body position before you attempt the long throw. I think that's actually one tip you gave to me probably last year when I first started doing 3.5. I was like, Chris, bro, I can't make this dive, it's too difficult, I need some help. What do you do to make it better? You like just try to get your arms straight on your throat, like really, really long over the board.
Yeah, but also it gets forgotten very easy as an athlete. Is actually ankles out of the board. When you point your toes out of the board, it does so much. I've recently just gone down back to Southampton. I trained in Southampton for many, many years, and then I moved to Leeds in 2014. My aim was really good with Lindsay, and it was good with AD as well. But like the last year or so, it's been kind of dropping off a little bit, and I think I've just lost a little bit of my original whatever I had. But since I've gone down with Lindsay again for like 4 days, she really reinforced my ankles out of the board, and it's really helped my start. I'll see how it is like in the next couple of days, but it feels like I've got quite a lot of it back. So that's, I'm obviously going to say that's a key part as well, because I kind of forgot about that. It's a good thing like going with a different coach, because they pick out things that you forget, or pick up things that you've never really thought of before, which is like always really positive.
Yeah, and that's something that's been huge for me. Like I've had so many different coaches at different competitions. And being able to just take little bits from all of them and
build you as a diver. Yeah,
like
that's good. I like that.
So the 2 top tips that Chris had: first one, long throw over the board with straight arms. Second one, work your toes up out the board. Chris, cheers, bro.
Thanks, bro.
The inward 4.5 on 10 metre is another dive with a degree of difficulty of 4.1. Yang Jian actually competed this dive in the same record-breaking event in London when he got a perfect score on his forward 4.5 pike. The inward 4.5 was first competed back in 2008 by American diver Harrison Jones, but it was made popular by the 2 Mexican divers Ivan Garcia and German Sanchez, as it was instrumental in their Olympic silver medal performance in 2012. In the rest of men's diving, the inward 3.5 tug is probably the most common dive on both springboard and platform. Some divers have upgraded and are doing this dive piked, but this is reserved for divers with short legs and outstanding technique. Definitely not for me. In women's diving, all of the top girls will be competing the inward 2.5 pike on springboards. Inward 3.5 is probably a step too far for women right now. However, on 10 metre, the inward 3.5 is the norm. For me, similarly to reverse last week, I'm pushing myself to get the inward 3.5 tuck right. The fact that I'm even doing this dive is unbelievable, seeing as my coaches, Edwin and AD, never even thought I'd be able to do the inward 2.5 pike because of my long legs. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on next week's video. Any questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll answer them as soon as possible. Peace.